squad, and welcome to Get to Know the Artist. Today's featured artist is Kamia McWilliams. Hi, Kamia.
Hey.
We're so glad you're here. But before we get started, I would like to thank our sponsors: 4th Street Design, Community Bank, Fitzgerald Utilities, Southern Eagle, City of Fitzgerald, the Harris House, Mr. Bubbles Car Wash, the Polk Funeral Home, Rancho Grande, and the Blue Cottage. Today we have portrait photographer, mentor, self-published author, and business coach who inspires women to create their authentic brand with fearless confidence, Kamia McWilliams. We're so glad to have you here today.
Thank
Why don't
you.
you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Kamia McWilliams. I am a portrait photographer located here in Fitzgerald, Georgia. I've been an entrepreneur and a photographer now for about 4 years as my profession. And I've had the privilege to work with a lot of people, photograph a lot of people, also have my work featured in a lot of different newspapers, magazines, social media outlets. I'm also a self-published author, a business coach, branding coach, and also a photographer mentor out of Fitzgerald.
And some of those magazines and newspapers you've been featured in have been Voyage Atlanta, the Herald Leader, the Albany Herald, the Tipton Gazette, and Black Couples Revolution.
Yes.
That's amazing. And then what's your book called?
One of my books is Aisha, She Who Lives, which is a portrait book that I released like in 2018. And then I also released my first magazine, which published artists and entrepreneurs around Southwest Georgia, and I released that in 2019. And of course, I named it KP Magazine. So that was my first magazine that I ever published. And I'm still working on other content and books to put out. But this business got me going crazy. So,
well, make sure y'all go follow Kamia on social media at Kamia Portrait so you can stay up to date on everything that's going on. So, are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Let's go. I'm ready.
If you could travel to any planet, what would it be?
For me, it would have to be, I don't know, Pluto. I guess. Is Pluto a planet?
I've seen articles where they say it's a planet, but it's not a planet, and then it's a planet again. So
Pluto, because
I'm not sure.
It's questionable because it's Pluto.
It's Pluto. Pluto rocks. Who was your favorite teacher growing up?
Oh, I had two. It was Miss Hope, which was my early childhood education teacher in the 9th grade, all the way. I think I took her class all the way till I graduated. And then, of course, Miss Calhoun, which is my absolute favorite. And she was my middle school social studies teacher. So those are my two favorite. I love them too.
Awesome. What was one of your favorite TV shows growing up?
Ooh, I would have to say it was Martin. I love Martin and the commentary and everything was funny and jokey. So I say Martin for me.
And what's your go-to karaoke song?
Ooh, what's that song by Demi Lovato? Stone Cold by Demi Lovato. I love that song.
What's your favorite board game?
Board game? Oh, I don't have one. My favorite card game is Uno. I really don't have a favorite board game.
What is your favorite song?
My favorite song right now is it's a gospel song. What is it? Hold on. It's a gospel song. I just shared it on Facebook. Hold on, I gotta think. It's by a lady named Amanda. I don't know. The Lord give me strength. It's something like that by Imelda. I can't think of the name, the actual name, but I know it's a gospel song. I just can't think of the name. And I listen to it every morning.
If you think about it, just throw it in the conversation somewhere.
Okay.
Pepperoni or cheese pizza?
Ooh, pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
No. Ooh.
What's a book you plan on reading?
Oh, I done read this book like 2 times, but it's a book called Gal. And I don't know who it's by, but it's about a Black girl that was staying with her dad after her mom died. And it's based on a true story. And she just shares her life story from being a child all the way to adulthood. And it's a really good book. It's called Gal.
I'll have to go look it up and put it in the links and comments for anybody who's interested in reading it.
It's a real good book.
And I'll probably do the same thing with your favorite song. Just send it to me after, and then I'll put it in the link in the comment in the description box. And then what did you want to be when you grew up?
Originally I wanted to be, of course, a photographer. It went from wanting to be a photographer, and then I was like, I'm gonna be a teacher, and then I was like, no, I want to be a vet. I think I still could be a vet though. I don't want to be a teacher, but I definitely want to be a vet. Besides doing photography, I love animals. So
let's take some Instagram questions.
Okay.
How has taking self-portraits changed / affected your photography?
Ooh. Self-portraits, they really impacted my photography business, especially on social media and reaching other photographers a lot. Self-portraits is something that really brought a lot of attention to me, because I ended up asking my followers on Twitter to to also do self-portraits. So it was kind of like a challenge. Mm-hmm. And then all the photographers came out of nowhere, like from all over, doing the self-portraits, and then they was tagging me in their work, DMing me, their self-portraits. And so it really like put my business way up there, especially within the photography community.
Having a bad day, what do you do to make yourself feel better?
I automatically call my husband, because he's my, like, how can I say this? I think he knows me better than anybody, and he knows how to, calm me down. So if I'm having a bad day, the first person I think of is like, call my husband. He gonna listen. He gonna hear me whine and complain, and then I'm fine the rest of the day, as long as I be able to talk to him, get it off my chest. And he literally don't say nothing. He just sit there and listen, and I feel better.
And sometimes that's all we need is no commentary. Just sit down and listen.
Right.
You got you a good man.
That's it.
What is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote would be, well, it's actually a scripture, and that'll be John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, so that, how does it go? Who shall ever believe in him should not perish but have eternal life. Mm-hmm. That would be mine.
And what would you like to be known for?
Oh, I didn't see that question. I would like to be known for just overall making other people feel important and feel confident in anything that they do, because that's really why I enjoy taking, I enjoy taking pictures. I enjoy the branding and business coaching, because I'm able to pull out something that most people didn't even know was in their self. And that's being self-confident, being self-aware, being, just secure in who you are. And I see it a lot, especially taking pictures. When somebody come in my studio, and at first they just don't know how to feel about themselves in front of the camera, but by the end of the session, they're a whole entire, new person. They view themselves differently. So I would have to say I want to be known for making people feel good. Because you can do good work, publish, pictures and all of that, but it's how you make somebody feel, and that's the impact that you're leaving. That's what people remember, how you make them feel. So that's what I would want to be known for.
Awesome. And what's inspired you to become a photographer?
So I started taking pictures actually when I was 14. I started doing it as like actually having my business license when I turned 19. But when I was 14, my uncle used to take pictures at our church in Rochelle. And I was like, I want to do what he do, because I didn't like ushering. I didn't like really singing in the choir. I didn't like, but I seen what he was doing, walking around church, taking pictures, doing service. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And so I ended up telling him, but he decided to be a preacher instead. And he sold his camera equipment to another photographer in the area. And then he ended up taking me to Walmart, and he bought me my first camera, which was a Kodak camera. And so I took pictures with that camera from the age of 14 all the way to 16. And then my little brother and my nephew broke the camera. And so when I finally got out on my own to save up enough money, I ended up going to Walmart again when I was 18. And I bought me a Nikon D3300. And so ever since then, I want to take pictures. And my uncle, he's the one that inspired me to take pictures. I wouldn't have thought it would go this far, but yeah, it started at the age of 14. And my uncle, he was my inspiration.
Awesome. That's inspiring, and just how people don't realize just in your everyday how just something you naturally do inspires somebody.
Yeah, and you don't realize who's looking at you and who's looking up to you. So that story, I'm gonna always tell that story, because I would have never thought I thought I was gonna be a teacher. I really did, but yeah, that didn't work out. It didn't work out.
It allows you to keep going when everything seems to be going wrong.
I would have to say one would be the love for what I do, because it's just like a relationship. If you don't love the person you with, you're not gonna want to stay and work it out. Every small thing that happens, you don't want to leave. So for me, it's the love for what I do. I want to grow. I love photographing people. I enjoy what I do. And even though bad stuff happen, like I probably get an upset client or a picture don't turn out right, don't get feedback on social media, but I still put it out and I still give it my all because I love what I do. And then of course my children, because I want them to see. When I grew up, I was told you can't be a photographer because photographers don't make a lot of money. So that's why my second option was teaching. But I want my kids to see what I do. It's not common being a photographer and having a photography business. This is not common. You need to be a police officer, or you need to be work in the medical field, teaching. And I guess growing up in Fitzgerald, you don't have those opportunities in school. You kind of limit what you can do. You don't think outside of what's presented in front of you. And so my second reason is because I want my kids to know that whatever you set your mind to be, if you want to be an actress, it sounds crazy because you stay in Little Fitzgerald, but you can be an actress, you can be a singer, you can be a musician. And that's crazy because my husband, he's a musician. You don't hear about many musicians because people really don't, play instruments like that unless you're in the band. So you don't hear about being a musician and getting paid for being a musician. You don't hear about a photographer that has a photography business. You don't see the photographer that's in school, that's taking pictures of you when it's, picture day. So it would have to be because I really love what I do. And then for my kids, because I want them to know that you can do and be whatever you want to be. I'll say, not just don't limit what you can be, but be exactly what you want to be. I mean, and like, you'll be surprised because like I watched the other interview you did with Aries. It's like so many people within the community that has this talent that just get overlooked because we put standards on people what they should be and where they're supposed to be. And then you don't know they have these hidden talents that's just so amazing. Just like when I went to the y'all hosted the marketplace for
Yes.
artists set up. Yeah, and I went inside and I seen all of these art pieces and drawings, and some of them were for Fitzgerald. And I was like, I would have never known because of the standard that we put on people, and we want people to be, you know, what we want people to be. And so many people got these hidden talents, like really talented to go beyond what we are.
How has COVID-19 impacted your life, and how have you overcome some of the obstacles?
I would say I would say it's impacted my life in a negative way, but I think all of what's happening serves a purpose. And at first, because I work, my full-time job is working as a bank teller. And when COVID, you know, came about, of course, they shut down the inside. And so I work in a drive-through. And so we just get traffic through, everything is drive-through only right now. So when I looked at it, I was like, I'm sick of this job. I hate this job. You know, it's too much work. I come home and then I'm trying to, you know, do my business on the weekend. I don't have no time off because I'm taking pictures all weekend. And my job is just it's so overwhelming. And COVID, you know, caused this. But I took it from looking at it from a negative perspective to looking at it something positive. It had to happen because now COVID made me realize that what the energy that I put into working for somebody else, I want to be working for myself full time. And so it has driven me to start saving my money so that I can quit my full-time job and start investing that energy into my business. And so even though it happened, but it hasn't affected my business, but it has affected how I feel about my day job. And it made me realize that I don't want to be doing this for the rest of my life. I want to be a photographer full time because I got that much potential to do it. So,
and then we've got some upcoming events. You have a ladies' night in.
Oh, yes. So excited about this. Now, the ladies' night in, I've been planning this for like a year now, but I finally got a venue and all of that and start getting sponsors. And so basically what I wanted to do was I love photographing women, period. And I love women being confident in front of the camera, feeling like A-list celebrities. So I decided to host this event for women only, and they're able to get I got 5 VIP tickets. I'm gonna have 5 makeup artists there during the event to do their makeup so they can feel, you know, pretty, and then we're gonna take portraits. And then I'm also selling $35 tickets for the women who already have their makeup did, who just want to come in, have a good time, enjoy food, and also get their portraits did. But this event is all about women empowerment and having women come together and enjoy each other's company. And we're going to have vendors that are all women, so all women who are entrepreneurs, and they also sponsor this event. So we have Mood by DeAndrea, and then we have Tamika, who's a hairstylist, and she's a nail tech, and she's going to be sponsoring it. It's so many people that's going to be. Miss Aries is going to be cooking. So it's all about women empowerment, and then also allowing women to feel confident in front of the camera and exposure for other women who are entrepreneurs. So it's going to be, I hope it's going to be a good turnout, and it's going to be November 14th here in Fitzgerald at 110 East Pine Street. And we're going to start at 5:30, probably last until 8 p.m.
And then how can they purchase tickets?
They can purchase tickets on Eventbrite. And so I have all these links on my business page, Kamia Portraits. And if you click on the event tab, it's going to have all my events listed. And then I also have a second event coming up in 2021 for photographers. We're going to do a style shoot also. So I have a lot going on. I really do.
If somebody wants to book you for a photography session, how can they reach you?
So for anybody who wants to book me, they can visit www.kamiaportraits.com and click on investments. And I have a list of my portraits and all of my prices and information listed on that page. And a lot of people do have questions. So if you have questions, you can message me via Facebook on my business page. And that's Kamia Portraits on Facebook.
And then we're going to make sure that we link all your information in the description box down below. So it'll be easy just to scroll down there and click. And make sure you get your ticket, especially if you want that VIP session. There's only 5 spots available, so you want to get that today. All right, we're going to do our last question.
Okay.
If you could go back and tell your younger self anything, what would it be?
If I could go back and tell my younger self anything, it would be, you can do it. That would be you can do it. Because if I would have known what I know now and what I'm pursuing, I wish someone would have told me that I can do it instead of saying you can't do it because. And I think I would be way more experienced and have learned more with photography. I wouldn't have wasted money because now I got student debt for something that I just was doing because everybody said you either gonna be a teacher, you're gonna do mechanic work, you're gonna be a nurse or police. You see those. And so I wasted a lot of money. So I wish I could tell myself, like, you can do it. It sounds crazy to everybody else, especially the adults in your life that just work day jobs. But you can do it. And I'm doing it.
You're doing it, and you're proving to our younger generations that you can do it. You have to make the time available, and you have to push forward. And sometimes you have to be the leader that steps out and says, "Hey, we're going to do this thing," and you have done that. So make sure you go to the links in the description and you follow and like to keep up to date with Kamia McWilliams. And we look forward to doing this again.
Yes, I hope so. This is fun.
So much, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye.